What's up, otakus? Uh, so we got our top loaders in. I've got 20 Silver Age top loaders that arrived today. So we're going to be busy kind of, transferring books and getting books in here. I do still have to get bags and clear boards from Comic Clear. We'll probably pick up like 50 of those. Probably next week. Right now, the weekly budget is gone. I shouldn't say gone. The limit that we put the budget at, we've met that criteria. So, yeah, I can't spend anything until at least next week. Once Monday rolls around, we'll give ourselves about, similar to what we budgeted this week. I spent $65 this week, which isn't bad. I kind of want to keep it around 50, I guess, for next week. But man, did we pick up some incredible value, and this has to be, I would say, this specific haul has to be the haul of the summer in terms of value, in terms of what we got and versus what we paid. So, in my last video, I discovered this great new comic location. It's located in Kent, Washington. The bookstore is called Page Turner Books. And they had a bunch of dollar bin books on the floor. They had priced books on the top, but they had a huge section of dollar bin books. And I had to go back down there and dig. And boy, am I glad I did. Because the books of the haul, which we'll reveal last, was worth the hunt. And the thing is, we ran into these books, so we had a lot of long boxes to dig through. And the owner was in today, thank goodness. But as I was digging, I found one of the books and I couldn't believe it. So I kind of put it to the side and I went up to the counter to ask the owner. I was like, hey, do I'm digging for books. Do you reprice at the counter? Because I don't want to go through all the hassle of digging only to find out, the books that I thought were $1 aren't. And he said, no, we don't do stuff like that. And I was like, okay, great. So I knew I was in the clear with that one book, and then we just started digging and we found some more stuff. And to be honest, I didn't want to just pick up those 2 copies and just spend $2 and walk out of there. I felt obligated to at least pick up a good pile of books. So we picked up about 15 books out of the dollar bins, and we dug through over 30 short boxes. I want to say it's about 31 or 32 short boxes. A lot of short boxes. But we did it methodically, and we were pacing ourselves. We didn't want to miss anything. Especially with the first find, we were just like, oh my God, there could be more in here. So we're very methodical. I'm surprised because I've said before, it'd be nice to have these books, but I'm never going to actually physically pay for them, the prices for them, if we run into them, in the wild, in the dollar bins or in a bargain bin. We pick them up for that. And if you remember that comment, you'll know which book or which person or creator I'm referring to. But anyway, stay tuned to the end to find out which book we picked up. All right, so again, I felt obligated to pick up at least a good stack of books, and then get the books I didn't pick up yesterday. I left some books there because it was kind of out of what I wanted to spend in that particular visit. In this visit, it was different. We had the $15 books, and so I picked up some additional books that I had in my stack yesterday that I pulled out. Got about a couple more priced books. All in all, we spent we spent $30 on 18 books. So 15 for $15, and then 3 for I think $13.50. And then plus tax, it ended up being just like a little over $30. Okay, so we'll start. And I kind of just put it in order that I wanted to just kind of present. So they're not in any particular order. But, we have, we have at least the sort of the better books, in my opinion, toward the end. So hopefully, initially you'll be like, yeah, I wouldn't have paid $1 for that. Or I wouldn't. Yeah, some of these books I didn't necessarily need to pick up there, but we did put a lot of, we dug out a lot out of the dollar bin, but then due to damage and various factors, we put a good chunk of it back, and I thought 15 books was a fair little pickup to spend. So, all right, here we go. First book we got was Superpowers #1. Nice newsstand version here. This is a great Carmine Infantino cover. Got some late Carmine Infantino artwork, interior, and I believe this is the cover art he did. Just a cool book. I know this is I think this is a key book because it introduces a new character, a Japanese character in here, which is makes it key. But I just like it. It's late Carmine Infantino work. I've been kind of adding more Carmine Infantino into my collection as of late. Don't mind doing that. That's pretty cool. All right, this next one's also a key issue. We picked for $1. Again, the condition on this I would put at like a VF minus, fine plus. Same goes true for this one. Probably VF minus, fine plus. Overall, it's in pretty good shape. Probably needs a nice clean and press. It's got a little pen mark there. This is also a key book. It's Superman versus it's Superman and the Global Guardians, and DC Comics presents. DC Comics presents number 46. And we have the first appearance of the Global Guardians. And these are, I don't know why my camera is not choosing to focus. There we go. So we've got, like a guy from Israel, a lady from Brazil. We got the Rising Sun from Japan, a dude from Greece called the Olympian. Yeah, first appearance of a team we'll probably never really actually see ever. This was just a cool, it's got damage, a lot of, because people are, these are raw. All these books were sitting raw, by the way, no bags and boards, all raw, all kind of exposed. So a lot of people who dig, you got the little finger creases here at the top. But this is just an incredible John Byrne cover here. Acts of Vengeance preview here as well. But you got a little demon, or sorry, like a bad guy. What's the word I'm looking for? Supervillain cover here by John Byrne. I love the colors. Just the cover by here for $1. Bring on the bad guys. Yes. We also picked up this one. This one's actually in decent shape. I put this at VF Plus, maybe even near mint. We've got The Adventures of Superman, number, what is it? 442. Another great Superman Byrne book, by Byrne during this period. This is from 1988. So this was that period when Byrne was had basically redesigned and sort of rewritten the character to give it a more modern take. Beautiful cover there by Byrne. Another great pickup. Again, these are all $1. This one, there's like a little crease in the back, but it presents pretty high grade from the front. Yeah, I'd still give it about like a, I'd probably give it in the fine category. We've got, again, this is a book. I'm also going to mention at the end of this haul, we're going to pivot right to creating my priority list for the summer. Really just honing in on the top 10 books. And I know I have, Batman 251 at, front and center in terms of a book we want to pick up. But this is also, this could also be in the list, and the actual, not the reprint, which is Green Lantern number 70, was it 76? Yeah, 76. Which is a classic Neil Adams cover here. So I got the Silver Age Classics version. We got a little nice little cover action there on these. I love the, this is the Copper Age reprints. So I love this era of reprints, both Marvel and DC. For $1, yeah, we'll pick that up. It's a newsstand as well. This one was a cool one. I love Brian Bolland cover art. And this is more of I think a modern book from, 2000. It's Silver Age #1, and it's this great, the villains dressed up as as their arch nemesis. Sinestro dressed up as Green Lantern. Penguin dressed up as Batman, and Lex dressed up as Superman. This is, again, a Brian Bolland cover, so just really great. The condition isn't great on this one. The back has, again, those finger bends, or finger creases, I should say. But, yeah, that cover alone was worth $1. So not too concerned about the condition on these books. We just wanted to have a nice stack. And again, these are all books. I wanted to avoid picking up stuff where we wouldn't want to keep it in the PC. And all of these pretty much for the most part are PC books. So that's been good. We added this Jim Lee. So we picked up 4 Jim Lee books. So we're at currently 347 Jim Lee books. 3 away from 350, which is a milestone. So we'll be celebrating that, I think, probably by our next haul video. I've been kind of picking up these, the Wild Storm covers of Jim Lee. We have the Wild Storm 6B. This is the Jim Lee cover here. Yeah, not sure what's going on. Don't know. Haven't read this book, but that's a pretty damn nice cover there. Guy emptying out his clip. Some blood streaks in the back. Nice. It's just some Jim Lee cover goodness right there. So Wildstorm number 6B. We also picked up Death Blow 7. This one, I know we could have picked it up at Mill Geek. I know we could have picked it up at Hilla Comics for 33 cents or 50 cents. This isn't in the best condition either. It needs a press for sure because there's like crease lines. They don't break color, but there's stress lines here at the top. Overall, though, it's still like I would say it's a mint book. Not mint book, but high grade book, VF plus. Even with those little like minor creases. We picked up Death Blow number 7. Nice Jim Lee cover there. Love the color on this one. Pretty sweet. And yeah, these Death Blow covers are really, I think, underappreciated. They're Jim Lee does his really what propelled him early on at Marvel was Punisher War Journal. And Punisher War Journal was a lot of like gunfire, guns, like this kind of action, right? Just bullets and gunfire and paramilitary type designs. Just absolutely kills it on stuff like that. So yeah, that's something Jim Lee's definitely a strong point in his comic artwork. He doesn't get to do much of that in DC as it pertains to a lot of the characters. Actually, he still does Batman. There's opportunities to have like people with guns and stuff, and he's still able to draw that. But yeah, nowhere is it on display better than his work on Death Blow. All right, this is a cover that we've had on our list. This is another variant cover of Divine Right #1. There's a couple variant covers. Most all of them are by Jim Lee, but this one is by Travis Charest. And Travis Charest does this awesome, Christie here. And man, is that just a sick cover or what? Not in the best, there's like a nick here. It's kind of dirty, but again, for a dollar bin book, just to kind of complete this portion of my collection, we will do that. All right, and then this is the last Jim Lee book. We got Wildcat Source Book, and I didn't want to pick up the direct edition, which is this sort of like chromium cover deal. We wanted to pick up the newsstand, and we did. And this is actually a pretty decent grade. I'd put it at near mint. It's a near mint copy. Newsstand is we wanted that newsstand, so it's a different color. It's in purple. It's just a standard comic book, not anything foily or anything like that. Got a beautiful Michael Golden cover here. No Jim Lee artwork in this on the interiors of the book, but Jim Lee did write all the the character descriptions, the encyclopedia. It's basically a source book is like an encyclopedia on various characters and ships and equipment and whatever, to add just layer some of the nuance in this title. So he did write a lot of that. So that's why this is a Jim Lee book. All right, we're kind of getting into, so those were, I would say those were pretty decent $1 pickups. Some of them we just kind of picked up because we, again, wanted at least a good pile. Normally, I wouldn't have picked up that Death Blow. I probably would have picked up the source book and this. Most of these things I would have picked up. The Death Blow, some others were kind of stretches. I just wanted to have a good stack, like I said again. And this one, again, we added, but let me kind of take it out here. There's a little bit of a, gotta do some little glue action here, just on these damaged books. Sometimes I got this nice, I added some water here and I got the consistency to where I want it in terms of. There we go. Boom. All right, so that's gonna stick there nice. Just let it dry. Well, we got a really weathered, damaged copy of this book, but it was such a great. This is a key book, by the way. At least it is to me. It might not be in the. It might not be in like your comic app or anything, but it's a key book for me. We picked up Star Trek, the original Volume 1 from Western. We picked up Star Trek number 9. And this is just a great photo cover of both Kirk and Spock there. I think this is the story. It involves the crew of the Star Trek running into George Washington, of all people. But yeah, this is significant because this is the last photo cover. So they start the run off with a bunch of great photo covers from the television series, and then this is the last photo cover before they start moving to like, illustration for the covers. So this is just again beat up, not very not very attractive. It's got a little, like something was sticking on this. They ripped it off, and there's some paper residue there. It's creasing on the back. It's there's like humidity damage throughout the book. It's crinkly. So this is something I think when we get into cleaning, pressing, and doing all that, this will be sort of a labor of love and a test subject come that project. But again, just a beautiful cover by for $1. Come on, I know the majority of you would have come back with this book as well. So especially you Trekkie fans, you can't leave a book like that if you're a Trekkie fan. All right, next we have next we have well, let me show off this book first. We picked up another Stephen King Dark Tower sketchbook. This is the book that preceded The Dark Tower. Is like a preview of it, but it's a really awesome, black and, like just a pencil sketchbook of the artwork, the amazing artwork by Jay Lee in this series. So again, for $1, I think this ultimately is, like kind of the book you should key in on if you're going to get any book. I mean, that number 1 is great, but for me, this sketchbook is the cool thing to own in this run. Again, just a lot of great artwork from the book, but it's not in color. It's in original pencil sketch. So that's cool. All right. I'm going to save. So there's a theme sort of to the last $3 books that we picked up. So I'm going to introduce those as kind of like the books of the haul. There's definitely the last book that we'll show is quote unquote the book of the haul. It's, hey, what's up, Kenneth? It's what made us kind of dig through the entire 30 plus long boxes there. We're just sitting on the floor, just digging for, I must have spent a good 2 hours in there. So, we'll reveal that at the end. So here are some of the books that I actually, we paid for that were priced books. We have Wonder Woman. Again, we picked these up. We had pulled them out yesterday. Luckily, they didn't put them back yet. They were kind of just sitting there on the shelf as a to-do. So we were able to just, when we brought the dollar books up, we were able to add a couple of the ones I picked out from yesterday. We have Wonder Woman number 70. Again, just another addition to the Ball and Wonder Woman run. Love that cover right there. We've got Wonder Woman 91. Great battle cover there. Yeah. We paid a $5 and $3.50 for this one. And then we paid $5 for this one. This is just a great burn cover on this. It's nothing key. It's just a great burn cover here. Fantastic Four 262. You even got a note from Byrne. Hey guys, I know it's assistant editor month, but let's not do anything too silly on the cover, okay? Love and kisses, John. Nothing too silly there. It's a beautiful cover. So cool. Yeah, we this one was $5 as well. So paid about $13.50 for the price books. All right. Here's this is a shout out to Fanboy. Fanboy, if you're watching on the rerun, shout out to you, man. Or if you're watching now, shout out. Who's Who? You know, this is the test of a true DC fan, DC collector. Now I can pick up Who's Who for 50 cents. There's a bunch over at Mill Geek. So I don't necessarily focus on Who's Who. I've got maybe two. This is probably my third Who's Who in the collection. But this one's significant because Phantom Girl here is illustrated by Dave Stevens. And Dave Stevens is sort of the hobbies. What's a good way to describe it? It's the hobbies. I don't want to say flavor of the month. I just want to say it's the hobbies. What's the word I'm looking for? Where you're the it's the muse. It's the hobbies muse. At the moment, and a lot of it was spurred by a documentary on the artist's life. He had a terminal cancer, so he passed away rather young, and he was more of an independent artist. He created The Rocketeer and did a lot of great work on The Rocketeer. But yeah, apparently his comic books, they're kind of limited in number. I don't know if they're limited in print. I'm sure some of these independent titles are limited in print. But he is definitely somebody in comic books that a lot of collectors collect. Now, I don't particularly collect Dave Stevens, partly because I wasn't really aware of his work until everybody, started posting and going out there and talking about Dave Stevens. I haven't seen the documentary, but of course I'm aware of one book by Dave Stevens, which we told ourselves, if we ever ran into it, we would pick it up within reason. We weren't going to pay like an exorbitant amount for that book, but we definitely wanted it. But anyway, yeah, this has an interior panel by Dave Stevens, and this is Who's Who number. What is this number? I guess, oh yeah, here it is. It's Who's Who number 18, volume 18. And it's Phantom Girl through Pursuer, the P's. Who are some, I guess, notable, Obviously, Power Girl is notable here, and the Predator. Yeah, I guess the Predator was, well, I don't know if they're meaning our Predator, the Predator we think. It's probably another Predator. Poison Ivy, Plastic Man. Sorry, I'm just like kind of reading here. Phantom Zone. It's not a character per se. It's a prison. But that's pretty cool. But anyway, Dave Stevens interior panel artwork here, which is a cool thing. You know, these are sitting in dollar bins, 50-cent bins. So if you're into Dave Stevens, you want to collect more of his artwork, this is a good thing to hone in on. Just remember, rest in power, Dave Stevens, Power Girl, if you're looking for the specific who's who. All right. Next book. I kind of put this as a thumbnail, so if you saw the thumbnail of this video, you will know we picked up Seduction of the Innocent. This is a 3D interior book. This one doesn't have the 3D glasses, but again, we picked this awesome Dave Stevens cover for $1, and it's really nice condition as well. I'd put it at VF Plus. I mean, look at the corners there. There's no creasing. It's a really clean copy. You've got a couple this is again a black book, so whatever damage there is, it's gonna just stick out. And as you can see, there's just a couple color break spine ticks on the spine there. Again, they're very minute, so you probably can't see it. But there's one. You see one right there. Very minute, so it's a really, really beautiful copy. Again, I put out VF Plus for that. And yeah, I didn't really ever think I'd pick up a Dave Stevens book because I knew the only way it would come into our collection was the way we found it today, in a dollar bin. And I don't think the comic owner knew what he had in there. I didn't even ask him if he knew who David Stevens was, but luckily we got checked out by this young lady. We didn't have to have that awkward conversation. Oh, you found a Dave Stevens book. She just kind of like counted the books and just checked me out. So yeah, I mean, I know this is quite a pricey book in terms of like what people are willing to pay for. That's pretty cool. But don't mind having this in my collection. And what's nice about this, I know there's a lot of collectors that are wanting this book. Again, it's not complete, doesn't have the 3D glasses, but it's a really clean copy. So I don't mind trading this one for a big, a book that's that I want to add to my collection. So just letting you know, if you're a big Dave Stevens fan, reach out to me if you want this book. You know what I like. I like Jim Lee stuff, so I'm sure we can get a deal going. Now, this one I am going to keep in the collection, which is the Book of the Hall, and it's because I remember this cartoon growing up, and then Comico came out with this run of Johnny Quest in the mid 80s. And I never I was always running into this book from when I was a young age, because Comico was just kind of like these they were doing Robotech. They were just always kind of in your sphere, especially this Johnny Quest run. And I was never that into Johnny Quest, but as of late, I was picked up, an Adam Kubert, and I know there's a lot of different artists on that run. So I was thinking, yeah, if we ran into Johnny Quest, this book, number 5, we would definitely want to add it for the collection. It's just wonderful artwork. We picked up Johnny Quest number 5. And this is again one, I think, Stevens's classic covers uh, in his portfolio of work. You've got Jezebel here on the front cover, most notably, why people like this cover. Big book. We picked it for $1. And this is why, if you see dollar bins, you got to go through it. You got to go through it because you never know what you're going to find. And man, 2 Dave Stevens book. And this one's in incredible condition as well. And you'll see the spine because it's a black spine, kind of like the previous book. And you'll see, again, sharp corners, no creasing. The only issues are a couple spine ticks here that break color. I got one. I'm just going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're very minor. That one on the bottom is pretty noticeable, but the other ones are rather minor. But yeah, put this at a VF Plus as well. Just an incredible looking copy. Great cover art too. So yeah, didn't ever think we'd have Dave Stevens in the collection, but now we have a few books that we've added. This is kind of a Dave Stevens Unmyeong haul. Not intentional, but if you dig and you find some treasure, you gotta pick it up. So hope you enjoyed that. That was pretty exciting. So again, in terms of value, we spent $30, but we got definitely a lot more value in terms of the pickups. That the 2 Dave Stevens books alone are probably, like, in terms of value, like $200 in terms of value. Well, maybe $150 in terms of value. And then, we got all these dollar books, a lot of cool key, some key books, some of the artists that we like. And again, just more additions to the runs I'm trying to complete. So all in all, just a great, satisfying haul. And let me know what your thoughts are. I mean, I think we all kind of dream about. I know when the whole Dave Stevens hype and madness was going on, in the back of my mind, I was, because there were a bunch of artists, or I shouldn't say artists, there were a bunch of comic book collectors going out and digging and running into a Dave Stevens book that's selling for like $2-3 or half a cover or whatever. And I was like, man, I would love to have that happen to me, right? Like I would love to do that, but the whole Dave Stevens craze was going on, and I just thought the more time passes, the more these books are gonna get sucked up and claimed up, and we probably lost our window of doing that. Well, lo and behold, this bookstore in Kent, again, not terribly advertised as a comic book shop, but it's definitely a gem of a comic book shop. Now that we've dug through all the dollar bins, I feel like I don't have to go there because they've got no She-Hulk. I pretty much picked out a lot of their. I mean, I may go back for Fantastic Four books, but I pretty much picked out. At least I dug all the stuff I'm looking for. They don't have anything that I'm like dying to add. So I feel like I have a good survey of that shop now. Maybe we'll hit it up, a couple months from now, or when they refreshed inventory, gotten stuff. They have a lot of stuff they haven't. They've got like long boxes, short boxes, all in the back area as well. They just kind of stack it up, and as people like buy boxes or collections, they renew them. So I think the owner is just kind of like, he'll go through maybe a series of months where he sells stuff off, and then he'll set aside some time to like replenish, bag and board, and do all that stuff. Go work through his inventory. But that's a lot of people, shop owners. I don't. Jeff was that way. Jeff had more than he could manage upstairs. So every now and then, at a couple months, he'll get to like a short box, bag and board it, price it, and put it where it needs to go. So this guy is just reminiscent of Jeff. They're not quarter bins, obviously, but they're dollar bins, and they're also price books. So really happy with Page Turner Books. Again, we'll probably head out there maybe later in the winter, but I think in terms of the summer haul stuff, we don't need to go back there again. Feel like I have a good handling on what they have, and we've picked up what we wanted to pick up from there, so that's good. All right, now we're just going to focus. We're going to now pivot to focusing our want list. As you know, we're preparing to go to a comic book show. I guess it's a comic convention. It really is like a show, though, because I think it's geared toward vendors and buyers. So in that sense, it's really just a place to pick up comic books. And I gotta cash this check here. It's in here, and we'll go to the bank at some point. All right. So we have a lot of books that we're targeting. As does, I would imagine, any collector. Any collector is like, you've got probably more books than you can keep track of. Even if you are very minimalist in what you collect, let's say you're just specifically kind of like collecting a specific artist or run or whatever, even if you're minimalist, maybe like character covers or something to that effect, there's just a lot to collect. Like even Dave Stevens stuff, you'd think, it's not. There's a lot of Dave Stevens books that you can choose from. Whether you can find them or not, that's another thing. I'm sure you can go out and buy them all on eBay, but if you're trying to organically find them at a good price, it's quite an exhaustive process. So in order to simplify, it's always good to kind of have top of mind a strategy for shows like this. So when you're tackling, let's say a long box or a short box, you'll go to the titled sections. If it's organized, I should say. If it's unorganized, you just want to just dig. But so the digging part, that's usually what I start with at a show like this, because I don't have a large budget. And in the past, I've been very undisciplined. I've been kind of like, we're going to hit the floor. We're just going to dig, and we're going to pull out dollar books or value books that we want to add to the collection. And that method, while good, you pick up a lot of cool stuff. A lot of it isn't necessarily of value. It isn't necessarily in the best grade. And it definitely isn't like, it may not even be something you were particularly wanting to pick up. It just, in the moment, you wanted it, you added it to the pile, and it ends up in your collection. So because we have budget this time around, and we want to be very thoughtful with how we spend the budget, we're doing the exact opposite of what we normally do. And that's not to tackle bargain bins first. Bargain bins will come at the very end if we have some time, and we'll do it. We'll do it to where if we have like we're building an order or something, and we want to just get the price down on those particular books, doesn't hurt to have a good stack of value bin books. Maybe he throws those in or whatever. So there's a way to be strategic with the negotiation part. So not to say we won't dig dollar bins, because that's really the best part, the most fun you'll have on at a convention or show of this kind. But at the same time, it is time consuming, and again, it's not targeted, or oftentimes it's just a big waste of time, and sometimes a waste of effort and money, because you're throwing money into things you don't necessarily need. All right, let me get my we're gonna do this rather methodically here. Let me just get some stuff set up. We're gonna get our key collector, sign into that. All right, let's see if this password works. Oh, that's not our password. That's not our password either. What's going on here? Here we go. Oh, is it? Okay, maybe it's my other email. Let's see if that works. There we go. All right, we're in. Jeez, that was painful. All right, apologies. That's how we roll here on the OTG. Lots of awkward pauses and bathroom breaks and things of that nature. All right. I've got quite an extensive wish list. So if we're going to make the list, we're going to keep it to what I've already poured time and energy into. And I'm only going to have Google open just to kind of search for stuff. So, but this has a lot of the visuals here as well. So I guess we don't need a Google thing open per se. All right, we're going to share my screen here. All right, hope you're seeing what I'm seeing. So this is my wish list, and I have it by title here. Yeah, here's another Dave Stevens that I had on my want list. And that's pretty cool. What else we got here? That I'm not adding, by the way, to our priority list. As great a book that is, I don't think I'd necessarily target that book. It's, at a comic show like that, any kind of error, you're never going to run into this in a bargain bin unless you're lucky. And they're going to probably have it priced out to where you're probably competing with other people. So we're not going to focus on Dave Stevens. That's not. Now, this book, these 2 books or 3 books, we could target. I've been wanting to pick up this book It's a treasury edition. So let's just make a note of it. Again, we kind of want to plop stuff in. This is I'm just going to call it Muhammad Ali rather than what it is. Well, I should put the title in there as well. So what is it? It's the all new collector's edition, number 56. Yeah, beautiful Neil Adams cover here. And it's one thing, this thing has been on our want list since we started adding Neil Adams, or pretty much, started targeting Neil Adams books. This is also a great cover here. Was it Luis Garcia Lopez cover here of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Uncle Sam? That's a nice one too. I'm just gonna add it. I'm gonna also put the price here. Just so we have like a ballpark figure for what we target to pay. We'll circle back to Action Comics and Adventure Comics. We'll circle back. I know as I look through these titles, oh yeah, this is definitely one we want to target as well. There's a lot of great, man, look at that Dave Mazzucchelli cover here. That's beautiful. A lot of great covers from this Amazing Heroes. There's another Dave Stevens cover there. That's pretty nice. Rocketeer preview. Got an Adam Hughes cover there, looks like. Todd McFarlane, Stan Sakai. All right, so here it is. Amazing Heroes 197, Brian Ball and Wonder Woman. This is definitely among the stuff we want to pick up, or at least target. And this necessarily won't be a wall book. I think this is one of those instances where we will have to maybe dig, but we could ask, do you have Amazing Heroes? And if they say yes, then we're good to go. All right, so we are definitely, we have some stuff that we can target for sure. These are all those ones not so much. These are all top. Again, Amazing Spider-Man. Let's just see what we have in here. Obviously, my Grail book is this Amazing ASM number 3. And I know I've seen a low grade on social media going for about 12, 1200. It was like a 1.0. And anyway, it's on the radar. We're not targeting it. I'm trying to think of what else in this run here that we would want to. There are a couple covers. One is Romita's first cover in the run, which is ASM 39 right here. That's a big boy book right there. And that's something we would want to add. Number 39. We probably, I mean, we could pick it up in high grade. That's a big lift, but just if it's low grade, even low to mid. So I don't think we'd want to spend anything over $200 on that book. But yeah, if we could pick up that book, that'd be amazing. All of these really are worthy of picking up. These classic, like ASM 50, even. Geez, that would be great to pick up. Or even 51, first Kingpin cover. But I think, this Doc Ock cover here. All right, let's put 55 on the list as well. I know 55 you could probably pick up like under 100 for sure. So it's just good to have on the list, even if we're not targeting it directly. Yeah, this is just, I think there's just so many good books here. This is something we can just kind of keep on the radar. The other, I think, big book would be this Death of Gwen Stacy, 121. And of course, there's the first Punisher here at 129. I already have this copy here, the mid-grade copy here on my radar at a place, and I already know the price. So I'm hoping that remains there until after the show, because if we come back from this show with $500, which I don't anticipate we will do, but if we do, or in the remaining time we have in terms of the paychecks, we'll go again get this book. So I'm not really targeting it for Vancouver, but again, this is another book. Probably pay $300 for. Not going to get crazy and try to pick up a high grade copy or anything like that. Again, not terribly. I'm putting them on the list because these are obviously big boy books, and we want to focus on some big boy books. But for now, I'm not going to make that the target, the main targets. We're just putting on the list, and we're going to obviously work through the list. This is one that I just want to kind of pick up. I'm going to be patient with it, but Animal Man #1. That's front and center. I'm not going to put it on my list, but I would love to pick up an Animal Man #1. That's just it's a Brian Bolland book. Just cool. I think first issue to target. All right, we got some Aspen swimsuit spectacular. That's great. Just I'm not going to target it. Astro Boy, that'd be a. I mean, what is Astro Boy going for here? $800. Cool book to have as well. Authority Avengers. All right, we're kind of going to move on from the A's, go to page 2 now. Batgirl Adventures, Batman. Of course, we got to go through the Batman list. Yeah, all this Golden Age stuff is. We're going to target it. We got to commit to it. Commit big money to it. But no, not on this particular list. Is this with the first Joker cover? No, it's just cover art. Where's the first? I don't think I have that one on. Not seeing anything that's something we'd want to pop onto our list here. I'm trying to remember the Batman key that I really want. I think there was a Batmite cover that I like this one here, first appearance of or third appearance of Batmite. Where's the? I have the first appearance of Batmite somewhere. Oh, was that the first cover appearance of Batmite? No. Anyway, that's something you might target, but not really. The Sheldon Meldoff cover, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, this one here, this Joker, Court of Jokers. I had an opportunity to pick this up actually a while back for like $20 or so. It was, I think, lower grade, but this was right when I got back into collecting. And it's kind of always it's always been in the back of my mind in terms of what I want to pick up, but I'm not going to put it on the list for now. Of course, all of these are just very classic Silver Age covers and books. Batman 200. There we go. That's a book we want to focus on. It's a Neil Adams book. So yeah, obviously this one we want to pick up. I think a good price point would be to focus on 100 to 200. What else we got here? Oh, 227. We got 200 to 500. That's our price range for that. Batman 238. We're definitely targeting this one. And we're going to try to get this one in high grade. So pay like 150 for this. Beautiful wraparound Neil Adams cover here. And with all the black there, I mean, to find this in high grade is going to be it's a square bound book. It's a 100-pager. To find this in high grade is going to be quite a challenge. But man, would that look incredible to pick up. So let's look at what are the details here. Not giving any details outside of. All right, so Batman 241, of course, this is also a classic Neil Adams cover as well. Get this one in around 100 as well. There's the Belly of the Beast right there, 251. Classic Joker cover. All right, so our budget for this particular book is, I mean, obviously grade is dependent, but we're looking at $300 to $400 on this book. So we're targeting like mid to low grade on this, but if we can get a mid grade for $400, I think we'd be really happy with that result. And again, with the exchange rate, we kind of have that working for us to begin with. So really, this is, I think, gonna be on the list no matter what, for sure. Here's another great Rogues Gallery Paro cover, 291. Just good to put it on the radar here. This is the whole purpose of this exercise. Paro Rogues Gallery. Cool. All right, now we're moving into more of the modern stuff. I think there's not a lot here that I'm looking to add. So let's head back. Let's pop out of Batman for now. Nothing in volume 2 that I'd be interested in. Nothing in volume 3 I'd be interested in. Batman Aliens, Batman World's Finest. Nope. Ah, this is a book. Now, I'm just going to jot it down, but it's not technically on the list. But, this sells for usually like $15 to $20, $25. So, Dark Knight Returns, number 4, Frank Miller cover. Again, pay around $20, somewhere around there. Cool thing. Okay. Let's see. There's so many of these great Batman Gotham Knights covers, so those will be stuff if we run into it $1. But I was hoping to run into it today at Page Turner Books in the dollar bin. No luck. They didn't have any Gotham Knights in there, so let's see here. Blade Runner, no. See, a lot of these things like Blade Runner number 1. I remember wanting this book because I love Blade Runner. I just remember thinking, yeah, you want to have Blade Runner 1 in the collection. But as time passed, I realized, I don't have to have everything I like, the first appearance of everything I like and all that. So it'd be great to have if I find it like for $1 or something. I definitely would pick it up, but it's not something we're targeting. So I mean, I could even take it off my wish list. It's not something I really would want, but there's a lot of stuff on the wish list that kind of fit that category. Like, like Catwoman's a great example. I probably have a bunch of stuff like these Adam Hughes covers. Like, oh yeah, that'd be nice to have in the collection, but they're not stuff I'm going to target. They're not even stuff probably like deserving to be on the want list or wish list now. So, things like that. Why are we doing this weird? I'm gonna go page 3. Okay, there we go. Comics Journal. We have some Comics Journals here. That is a cool Dave Stevens cover here. I told myself I wouldn't fall down the Dave Stevens rabbit hole, so we're going to stay true to that. Cowboy Bebop, Coyote, Blade She. Daredevil. There is a book here that's Daredevil 8. That'd be a great book to add. Daredevil 16. That'd be a great book to add. Some of these Doom covers here. That'd be nice. We're not putting on the list, though. We're not putting on the list. We are going to, however, there is a book we would And this is the first appearance, obviously. Here we go. These are all like anything from like, this is where I think Frank Miller starts his run. Oh no, this is it. First artwork on the Daredevil Frank Miller stuff. So look at that. That's just, oh my gosh, it's just, this is the book that we're targeting. It's the first appearance and origin of Elektra. So it's a big book, and it's only gone up in value since. I mean, we could have picked this up for, I think, probably half of what this book is booking at right now. When we first got back into collecting, just a popular book. So yeah, what are we trying to pay for this book? 200. First Elektra. $200. There's another Daredevil book here. All of these are so great. All of these are just fantastic ones to have. We want to pick up this Daredevil 189. Jeez, is that? I see people, members of the community, like targeting this one specifically. So it's the Death of Stick as well. So key book, incredible cover. Definitely targeting that one. This is one, to be honest, we could probably find digging. You know, I don't think it'll be a Wahlberg per se. It'll probably be priced down in the bin somewhere. So gotta get lucky with that one, I think. All right, well, let's continue on. Our list is getting pretty good. DC Comics presents. There is a book here that, this one here, it's the first appearance of the new Teen Titans. I don't know if we want to make it a priority book though. Yeah, we'll just hold off on that one. That is a nice book though. DC versus Marvel. Yeah, you know, I've been saying if we pick up this #1 cover, pick it up. I'm gonna find it for $1 bin though, in the dollar bin. What else we got? Detective Superman, Deadpool, Death Blow, Detective Comics. There's a lot of nice Detective Comics books. I mean, it's just nice, but we could never afford them. All right, just hang on. I'm gonna look at some Detective Comics books. I'm gonna get a beer. I need to have a beer. All right, this is fun stuff. I don't know if you guys are having fun, but I'm definitely enjoying myself. Alexa, lights on.
Okay.
Okay, so we could just like kind of close our eyes and do a boonk if we want to target like a Golden Age Batman book. But we're not going to do that. There is one Golden Age book that I am targeting though, and we'll get to that when we get to it. But I'm just seeing if there's anything that really sticks out. So many great books here. Oh, Rainbow Batman. That would be a nice one to have. Here it is. First appearance of Batmite. That's a big one. That's a big one. Although low grade, you know what? Let's add it. Saying 200 for a low grade. I'd pay 200 for a low grade. It's not out of the question. Detective Comics 267. Also, I don't think I don't know how mixed collectors are on Batmite. Some people could care less, maybe. I think it's cool. It is a big, significant first appearance. And again, this is like technically Silver Age, I guess. I'm sure there are a lot of copies of this. But yeah, if we can pick it out a low grade for 200, that's kind of where we'd want to stay, though. We wouldn't pay big money on that one. Some great Neil Adams works here coming up. This Man Bat, dude. Yeah, we gotta pick that one up. Detective Comics 400. 200 on this one as well. That would be a nice pickup right there. Yeah, we're kind of out of toward the modern stuff now. I think that's it. That's all she wrote. Yeah. All right. So let's just back out of this. Detective Comics. We're moving on up. Let's see. I think we're on 4, right? Let's try 5. Up. Too far. Let's try 4. There we go. Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange, Dragon Ball, Elektra, Fantastic Four. We gotta do it. There's a couple of big burn books here that are worth at least entertaining. Whether we're gonna put it on the list or not, yet to be seen. There's, oh man, look at that. That's a nice cover there. Nice curvy cover. I've been hearing a lot of people chime in about how undervalued these Fantastic Four books are. I think, yeah, I would agree. I don't think they're undervalued. I think what collectors are referring to is that they're not being sought after. So there's a big difference. Like, I think so. Fantastic Four books will always be sought after by collectors. Like people in the know. But yeah, there's not this sort of like larger, even within the comic book community, right? Like, I love Fantastic Four, but I'm not focused on Fantastic. Oh, actually, I should take that back. I'm focused on a specific run of Fantastic Four. I'm not focused on all these like Silver Age books. So in that sense, I agree. Like because it's not this sort of mad rush to pick up Silver Age, these amazing Kirby books. Um, there's this sense that they're undervalued because they're not. There's not a lot of like key demand, but you know, again, you have a movie announcement or something like that all changes, and then the values of these books go up. So I think what they're referring to is like, yeah, they have a potential ceiling that doesn't reflect the true value of these books. But I think in terms of where they're priced and what they go for, I think the value's fair. I wouldn't say they're underpriced, undervalued. I think it's fair, especially on a lot of. I mean, a lot of these, like first Black Panther. I mean, that's a pretty significant key, and it's not cheap. Um, should it be worth more? That's debatable. I think 2,000 average key book is a pretty good price. It shouldn't be any more than that. I mean, you're free to disagree, but yeah, let me know in the comments. You think Silver Age Fantastic Four is undervalued? I don't think so. I think a lot of people pay top dollar for this as is. So, all right, we're getting kind of sift through all this. Like, there's so much Fantastic Four stuff on my list that just kind of on there to be on there. It's not necessarily stuff we want to target. I already have this. I can take that one off. Oh, there's a couple here that I already have. I think this 211, that may be something we target. They do have this at Page Turner Books for, I think they had it for like $20. So it's always an option. This Galactus cover. Yeah, I think that's a good one to target. 243. Not a big book, and just something to, again, probably not on the list, but just having it tertiary to the list and keeping it in mind is important. Yeah, outside of that book, there's not a ton of Fantastic Four stuff we want to pick up. Let's see here. G.I. Joe. Where's my G.I. Joe? Here we go. G.I. Joe #1. This has been on my radar for a long time. So G.I. Joe #1 makes the list. This is pretty cool too. The October Guard. I may have to target that one as well. First appearance of the October Guard. All right. Those are the G.I. Joe books. We're only through the G's. Come on. We're only through the G's. Or I should say I's. We're through the I's now here. Where'd it go? Oh, we're on the G's now. Okay, here we go. Giant size X-Men. Now, mind you, we'll probably have $1,000 saved up for this Comic Con. And as of like 2 weeks ago, a local comic book shop here has it. I never inquired about the price, but they have it. And it looks to be like a mid-grade book. But again, low grade, presents well, $1,000 range. I mean, that's something we could definitely just drop and just be like, okay, we're done. And they'll have, I'm sure, several giant size X-Men's there at the show. It wouldn't be a true show without giant size X-Men. So, and that's a big book. It's $1,000 book. So you got to be ready to go all in on that book if we like the grade and the price on that. So there you go. There's just one book I want here in the Green Lantern, and we kind of covered it earlier. This is it. We want this in mid-grade, so I guess we'll pay up to like $400 for this one as well. It goes without saying why I want this book, so yeah, we'll put it at 300 range. Any of these Neil Adams Green Lantern covers would be great. Even this first John Stewart, that'd be pretty cool to add as well. Yeah, why not? This also $300 range. It's hit and miss, you know. Obviously, I'm sure they'll have at least one of these books as a wall book somewhere, but they might not have any. It's always a hit and miss with the stuff you want, especially these like very popular ones. These are all most of the books I'm kind of mentioning right here are like the most wanted of the wanted. It's not rocket science here on these like key books, so yeah. Infinite Crisis, Infinite Gauntlet, none of those tickle my fancy. Let's see, are we on page 5 now? Or are we? Oh, we just did page 5. I want to do page 6. Iron Man, Iron Fist, Iron Jaw. Nope. Here's one that's Judge Dredd #1. I think it was Rothhaus or Kenneth who put this on my radar. Because as I was talking about Ballin books and Ballin covers, they're like, you know, have you seen Ballin's work on Judge Dredd? I wasn't keenly aware of it, but after I did become keenly aware of it, I was like, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want this book? So Judge Dredd #1, you get a high grade, pay $25 for that. Alrighty. Justice League. Justice League of America. Justice League of America is another one of those books. Like, if we want to just drop $1,000 and be done, something we can do. But I'm not going to necessarily target #1. There's another one here that is, I think, worthy of picking up. There's a lot of obviously, Neil Adams, notable Neil Adams covers here. Here's a great one. That's a great one right there. Justice League of America number 74. Again, worth picking up. Here's another one. Freedom Fighters. We're not going to put it on the list, though. That's a great one, though. All right, well, I already picked these up recently. I take those off the list. Shout out to Craven Hunts Comics for that pickup. Love those books, man. Love those books. All right, we're going to have Justice League, Kick-Ass, King Conan, King Size Hulk, Kingdom Come, Lobo, Lone Wolf. Long Shot. Not on the list, but definitely one we want to add at some point. Macros, number 1. Another book we'd want to add. Not going to put it on the list. Marvel Age. It's always good to go through the Marvel Age stuff. Look at this one. You run into a dollar bin. You run into this in the dollar bin. You got to pick that up. Same here. Stanley. Got to pick that one up. That will never be in the dollar bin, by the way. This will never be in the dollar bin. Just letting you know. Oh, hello. Marvel 876. May have to target this one. Burn a She-Hulk. We'll target this one for $10. All right. Yeah, this great McFarlane. We've been wanting this one for a while. Number 90. Pay $25 on this one as well. All right, that's it for Marvel Age. Marvel Comics Presents, Empire Strikes Back. Oh, come on, you're not going to do this to me. How am I supposed to? Oh, man, they're doing me dirty here. I got to go from, what was that, page 6? The I's. We're skipping the S's and everything. Oh, that blows, man. All right, well, I guess we're skipping Supermans. I am targeting a Golden Age Superman book. And those tend to go for like $1,000 as well. So it's on the list. There's I can kind of describe them, I guess. I don't know the actual serial number for the run. But there's a great Golden Age book where Superman's digging and he's in China. He digs underground and he ends up in China. There are these Chinese people on the cover. That's a cool one. There's another Golden Age book. It's like an origin. I want to say it's 100 something, 156 or something. It's just a great Wayne Boring cover with where its origin, and it's just a great cover. Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch that we want to pick up. But there's so many great covers. It really comes down to if we can get it under 1,000 and it's like decent grade. It's like that's kind of where we are with that. So, all right, Wizard magazines. Looks like there's not too much we have there, so we won't focus on that. Wolverine #1, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you on these. Wonder Woman, Golden Age Wonder Woman. I mean, anything Golden Age Wonder Woman we can pick up for under, like around $500, we're doing it. Anything. As long as she's on the cover as Golden Age and it's around, $500, we may come back with it. So I'm going to just put 4 it's just like a place marker. Oh, this one here. Jeez. Can you be any more suggestive? Jeez. Wonder Woman 12. Again, $500 for that. What else? There's so much. I mean, there's just so many things we could pick up here that, as long as it's within this period. Even Silver Age stuff, man. A lot of the Silver Age stuff is. Look at this. How amazing is that? Ross Andrew goodness right there. Let's put that on the list, number 99. What was that? 500 for this. Great. Oh yeah, this is one we've always wanted. First cover appearance of these two characters. Pick this one up for $100. That'd be awesome. There's another one here. This is a key book here. You can get this one for $500. That'd be great. All right. That's just awesome cover there. So 205. Okay. Here's another one. Another bondage cover one. 207. Who's the artist on this one? Rick Estrada. Goodness. All right. That is, I think, where we're going to end the Wonder Woman stuff. All right. There's a big ball and cover book here. And I'm just going to I'm sure all of you know. This has been on my radar for quite some time now. 72. We almost pulled the trigger on this on eBay, but this is definitely going to be on the list. And, we're going to expect, maybe we'll even pick up a graded copy, but we're going to expect to pay $100 for this one. Hopefully we pick it up raw, but there's all of these ones that we haven't picked up, we're targeting as well. Again, I just want to complete this ball and run. There's not a lot of, there's a lot more books that we have to target, but it's not something I'm looking to do on this particular visit to Vancouver, but we definitely want to. All right, here's an interesting one. Hang on, this is not it. I think it's in World's Finest. No, and it's also Golden Age. Oh, no. It's in all. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of World's Finest stuff, Golden Age stuff we wouldn't mind having as well. I have to get a little bit more specific here, and we're just going to go. Let's see here. We got to search She-Hulk. Because we are going to target some She-Hulk books. Here we go. Oh, She-Hulk. I don't know why I'm in love with She-Hulk, but I love She-Hulk. I love Byrne She-Hulk. And this is a great one. This is a Brian Bolland She-Hulk cover. Actually, this is not it. It's this variant one. There's a variant one. Here's the Bolland version. This is a Mark Teixeira version. This is the Bolland version. You can just see, it's just like night and day in terms of talent. Nothing against Mark Teixeira. Mark Teixeira is a great artist, but he's not. I mean, come on. In a cover battle, Teixeira is losing. This is the book, the famous jump rope book, number 40, and we're going to pay up to $200 for this one. We'll pick it up between 100 and 200. Now, I will say this. There's a local shop here, a graded, I think, 9.6. They're asking, I think, $250 for it. That's our backup plan. So hope to find at the show for cheaper. It doesn't have to be graded. It can be raw, but it has to be at least a fine copy. I mean, I want it in the VF to near mint range for this particular one. But yeah, this is on the list for damn sure. That's on the list for damn sure. And maybe this final issue one as well. The one that makes the issue I have with this final issue one, it's not burned. It's not burned at the artwork. So it just loses the. Had it been a burn cover, and the OK Kids, we had a deal and they hand over those X-Men books. It's like, had it been a burn cover, it would have hit differently, but because it's not him, it just doesn't feel right. So, all right. So the book we are also targeting here, it's a big book, is All-Star Comics. And we are targeting, we want All Star Comics. Where is it? This is it. This is the first time Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman appear in the same story and the same cover. So All Star Comics 36. Now, just because it's something we want doesn't necessarily mean we can have it. It's a big book. So this is another one of those things like, if it's in a certain grade, we probably can't afford it. But if it's in low grade, again, I'm not going to put a limit ceiling on this. If it's $1,000 that we have to just throw down and that's all we come back with, it's something worth considering. If we can pick it up for $500, and it just presents decent. Again, it's a golden age book. I really doubt I'll pick that up, but we're putting it on the list. Okay, that's what these lists are for. All right. Let's go to Superman. Superman. I said I'd circle back around this Action Comics, and we will. Oh, what's up? What's up, baby? Cat's meowing. There's so many great Superman books, Golden Age books. I mean, who doesn't want this? The Nazi boat cover. Come on, that's just for $1,000. We'd come home with that one. Superman 13. Again, half of this exercise is just to be like, do you have a Superman 13? Yeah, we do. All right, how much you want for it? I'll give you 1,000. And that's pretty much where the conversation would end. If they accept, cool. If it's under 1,000, yeah, obviously negotiate below that. But here's another great one. I don't think it's within. I mean, the low grade is 1.4, so it's not something I think we could pick up. This is another great one. Clark Kent joins the army. Superman number 25. I think this is one realistically where we could pick up for 500, like a decent grade, like mid-grade one for 500. The hair cutting one obviously is a great one. That'd be cool to have. This is the one. This is the one we thought would be great. I don't know if this is Wayne Boring. I got to check. I thought it was Wayne Boring. Yeah, Wayne Boring. Amazing. It's just an amazing cover. And again, for 500, yeah, we'd want to come back with that one. 55 is not so bad either. I think this was popular because it was referenced in the seduction of the innocent trials. 100 is always one that this is just a great cover here. Just a great cover. We're now kind of delving into the Silver Age stuff. This would be great. Debut of the Bizarro family. Come on, who wouldn't want that? All right, we're targeting debut of the Superman 140 Bizarro family. So much good Superman stuff. I love this one. It's just him. It's that future where like he's with, or that I guess a scenario where he's with Lana, and then there's a alternate universe where he's with Lois, and I think it's just a great cover here. Number 162, 200 on that one. This is a nice origin of Brainiac. That'd be a cool one to add. So again, we're keeping our options open. Definitely wouldn't mind 261. This is a cool cover. Some great Neil Adams books here coming up. Oh, actually, past most of the Neil Adams stuff. I mean, we'll always be targeting Neil Adams Superman, so I don't think we have to necessarily put it on the list. But let's go back to Action Comics, shall we? All right, let's see here. Action Comics. Just looking at the reprints, I got a reprint, but I don't mind having more reprints, to be honest. If we can get this one from the 80s, that'd be great. We're not going to target it though. Let's see here. Action Comics. God, there's so many. Half of these, if we could just get it for like a good price, we'd do it. This Toy Man, man, how great would that be? So I mean, I'm not gonna like put this one 241. All right, maybe we will jot them down. Action Comics 241. Pay 400. First Brainiac, no. First Supergirl, no. But introduction of Bizarro World? Oh yeah. Oh yes. So 263. 200 on this one. Doesn't have to be high grade. This is a great one. $500 for 276. This is I don't understand. This is undervalued in my opinion. Where she's introduced to the world. Oh yeah, 285. Pay 300 for this one. There's a lot of great Neil Adams covers here as well. Yeah, this is kind of a one. If we dig, we'll be able to find. It's not like wall book worthy, but first appearance of Supermobile. Hell yeah, definitely want that one. Oh yeah, this one. What happened to the Man of Tomorrow? Great Alan Moore story. That's another one we can pick up. We will. The action comics. I think that's it for the action stuff. Yeah, I mean, all these other ones would just be like dollar bin finds and whatnot. So, okay. I think I'm just trying to think what else. Transformers. The Transformers. Now, obviously, Transformers is on my list, and it's been this way. G.I. Joe and Transformers been this way. I'm just hoping in Canada, like G.I. Joe and Transformers is just like people just don't care about Transformers and G.I. Joe in Canada. That's what I'm hoping because of the cultural, G.I. Joe is a very American, like nationalism type content. It's Go Joe, it's a USA. So I don't know if the Canadians are into like stuff like that. I would think no. I would think like that's the stuff Americans like, and then there's the stuff Canadians like. So I'm sure Alpha Flight's going to be overpriced in Canada. Probably love Wolverine. So yeah, hopefully we can pick up a Transformers. Although Transformers is just so cool, I would think that it wouldn't matter. You're either gonna love or hate Transformers. But Transformers #1, yes, we're gonna pay $200 for a nice, crispy, clean copy. We want the first print. You gotta be aware there's either the Black Spidey or Newsstand. Okay, there is a Canadian edition that goes for $320. Jeez. Sorry, the second print. What are we looking at here? The differences. Oh man, they look so close. So we got printed on the interior copyright notes for the. So you gotta do the due diligence on this one. Okay. So the second and third printings, you got they're the only distinguishable by the interior copyright notes. So you got to kind of open up the book, ask, and that's it. Obviously, you want first Dinobots as well. I'm not going to put on the list. Really, #1 is the G.I. Joe #1, Transformers #1. These are the two things that we really want to add. All right. And let's see, Transformers. I'm trying to think what other big ones are we targeting. We already did Wonder Woman. We did She-Hulk. We did Daredevil. Am I missing something? I know I'm missing something. Uncanny X-Men. I'm kind of wanting to stay away from Uncanny X-Men this summer only because it's on top of everybody's. I mean, I guess it always is, but especially now, with the popularity of the MCU stuff coming, and after Deadpool, there's just going to be an onslaught of people looking for X-Men stuff. So we're going to avoid all that and not overpay for stuff. We'll just steer clear of it. What else? I'm just missing a bunch of stuff. I feel like There's like some Neil Adams keys I'm missing. Some first appearance stuff I'm missing. What am I not? Let me just see here. Let's type in man and see what pops up. Yeah, not too much. Trying to think. Green Lantern, Hulk, Punisher. I think that's it. We got a pretty good list out of this exercise. So, yeah, I think in terms of, I mean, we've got a lot of stuff here, but I have it on a nice little notepad. So we could actually, kind of tier it to like top tier and then lower tier. Because obviously I want everything on this list. But if we're to add another layer of thought to it, or just prioritization to it, some rise to the top, some float to the bottom. And really the ones that float to the bottom are the older, higher priced books, because as great as Golden Age Superman would be to add to the collection, it's like that's the only book we're probably coming home with, right? Or at least, it'd be slim pickings. It'd be like you spent $800 on a book and then $200 worth of other stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to look at it, but yeah, I mean, obviously if we have a book there, we probably want to be like, what are you asking for it? And then the whole negotiation process would be started there. And what we could do is like, look, I've got $1,000. If you can give me that book for, this amount, I'll spend all my money here. And hopefully you can give me like a discount on whatever else we pick up, and kind of give him my checklist and see how many of the stuff he has, dig in the boxes, see what else we can buy. There's a lot of ways to approach it, but again, having that tiered list is super crucial to that. So what are some things that on this list that I'm just going to stop sharing so we can stare at my face? What are some things that kind of rise to the top? Definitely She-Hulk number 40. I'm going to put asterisks. Definitely Transformers number 1. Definitely Wonder Woman number 72. I mean, All-Star Comics. What was it, number 50? Oh, I kind of want to look it up. Hang on. I think it was 56, but I don't know. I didn't write it down. Yeah, there it is. 36. All-Star Comics 36. That's a big book. That's a low grade $500 book. But yeah, that one would be great to come back with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Giant size X-Men. We got to ask. Green Lantern 76. G.I. Joe #1 and #6. I feel like that's like a tandem deal. If they have one, they'll definitely have 6. And Batman 251. There's 1, 2. That's under 10 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books right there. So as like I guess bonus stuff, we could do Golden Age Wonder Woman and Golden Age Action Comics. As just again having on the list, not to say we obviously want to go through and be like, do you have these? And then again, I think you got to prioritize this 10, but having a list of 10 keeps us super focused, and it gives us enough, like it's not exhausted to where we're annoying the vendor, but it's also focused enough to where we can kind of go about and make notes and do all that. So we have a top 10 list here. It may change. It may things may pop into the noggin as we go, but we've got a lot to work with here, and I'm hoping some of the cultural differences in Canada, the stuff they like to price out. Again, if people could care less about G.I. Joe and Transformers, and it's just going for a lot lower there, that'd be good. Even something like All-Star Comics, and I don't know, we'll have to see, but I doubt anyone will have this one, to be honest. All-Star Comics 36. It's Erwin Hazen artwork. Beautiful cover there. That'd be awesome to add. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this haul video, and I feel like we had a lot of progress on the summer plans here. I know we're kind of late to getting to the priority list, but I just wanted to have a kind of not that this was a slow haul, but I figured put it off long enough. It's coming up. I got a lot of sort of organizing and reworking to do, but it's going to be fun. So thanks for watching. Again, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hang out with me every Friday. And especially, just continue to follow me this summer and see what we pick up. I promise. I obviously, like, we picked up a lot of stuff, and it's only been like a month in. So let me know, what you thought of this haul or some of the other pickups. We picked up a lot of good stuff, to be honest. I'm just really astonished in terms of how little we've spent, how much we've been able to pick up some of the more key stuff I've been meaning to add. So plan to do more of that. Sorry we can't chat. Normally I sit here and chat about movie stuff and pop culture news. I'll just touch on 2 things that I've been thinking about. Apparently PSA is entering the comic grading and encapsulating market. So they're instantly going to steal a good chunk of market share from both CBCS and CGC, which is good. People should not be looking at this as a bad thing. It's going to force this sort of niche grading market to be more affordable. Competition is good. Now, I say that, but it looks like all these grading companies and whatnot, they kind of like, it seems like they're in cahoots in terms of price fixing. They land on a service and everybody kind of lands there, and it's just differentiates. It's not like people have a choice in terms of pricing. They're all kind of similar. But hopefully PSA comes in with a real low price point, and this forces other people to, the other, service providers to have to lower theirs. That's what I'm hoping. But if PSA comes in with this elevated, like, oh, we're premium, so ours is worth more and all this garbage, they're really not understanding the market, I don't think. I think PSA has to come with, they're going to come in with a lower price point for sure, just to draw people away from it. And then who knows, they might raise prices at a certain point once their business is stabilized, but they want that initial rush of orders and submissions. So not that I'm planning to submit, but if the prices come down on CBCS, I'm still a CBCS guy. I saw sort of like I think PSA put out like a mock-up of what their slabs would look like. To be honest, it's just like whatever's to me. It doesn't look like it's a better case at the moment. We'll have to see. It is, I think it's sealed to the point where it's like you can't, if you want to get to the book, you have to bust it open. Like there's no way to like kind of jig it and like slip the book out. So you have to bust it. It's pretty much like one form factor. I think it's a solid seal on which is really what it should be. I think that's the way it is with CBCS too. So, it's going to accelerate changes at CGC. And again, I hope it's probably going to bring down the prices on all these services. Hopefully there's a price war. But yeah, I'm sure PSA, this says PSA to enter this tells me one of two things. People are still grading their books. CGC is still like able to capitalize, even with all the, the issues with this. There's still a bunch of collectors and people out there slabbing books, and I'm sure it's being driven by the reseller market. But yeah, it hasn't abated whatsoever. So obviously, with those kinds of strong sales figures, PSA figured we want a piece of the pie, and so they're going after it. But it doesn't impact me all that much. Again, I'm not looking to slab a lot of these books. Even that Dave Stevens book, I was like, man, we could probably get more for it if we had a grade attached to it and it was in a slab. But yeah, I'm not gonna. It's not. If you want to trade me for it, that's fine. But actually, no, that's a book I want to keep. So, the Seduction of the Innocent book, I'm willing to trade. That's one we could slab. But yeah, I'm not going to slab it if it's, again, with shipping and you have to press them and all this. Like they add up, and I just don't think it's worth the value. Even if you're trying to resell it, you're putting like a $50 markup on something that might not come back in the grade you think it is. So it's definitely an exercise you want to do with bigger books, like the big books. And I don't have big enough books to be honest to warrant this is worth grading. Like Superboy, that Superboy book is something I would probably get graded. The that Treasury Edition one is another one that would warrant doing that if it comes back in high grade. So we'll see. We gotta kind of wait and see. The prices definitely have to come down. I'm not gonna slab anything. It's too much. That's money we could spend on books. I think about it. I'd rather have this pile of books that I got for $30 today than one book that I own slabbed. That's just a good way to look at it. All right. The other thing is Deadpool and Wolverine. I think it's coming out next weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Got one more week left. So, or is it this weekend? No, it's next weekend. It's next weekend. So excited about that. And we'll talk more about that in detail in another stream. But thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate everybody who follows me and likes my content and engages with me. So appreciate the community. Keep digging, and we'll see you next one.